I'm indeed honored to join you all this morning as you gather for the 3-day community-based corrections training for the welfares here in the Central Division. Northern, Western and Eastern Divisions have had their say, and now it's your turn. Okay? So on the outset, I wish to firstly acknowledge and applaud our ministry's collaboration with the Legal Aid Commission to co-facilitate these sessions as organized. And I'm sure the sessions will be very interesting. Indeed, the expertise that both ministries bring to the table thoroughly complements the purpose of these sessions. And I know you know what the purpose of this session is greatly, and also cements our commitment as two separate agencies with two very different yet equally important roles in this area. Community-based corrections, as some might understand, involves the management and supervision of offenders in our communities. Under the Community Work Act 1994, welfare officers are responsible to supervise both children in conflict with the law and adult offenders. Let's put it this way. Let's not say juvenile delinquents. Let's not say child offenders. Let's say child in conflict with the law. Okay. Positivity there. And adult offenders in collaboration with stakeholders such as our women's interest officers, district officers, rokotuis and medical officers. It is needless to say that community-based correction plays a very vital role in ensuring the safety of the community by rehabilitating offenders and reintegrating these juvenile or children into who are in conflict with the law and adult offenders. So basically, your role would be to ensure that when these people in conflict with the law are released back in their communities, they become a better person and they don't reoffend. And I also cannot emphasize enough just how important your role as community-based corrections officers are. Become like a police, eh? Promotion. So you have been chosen for this training because we have every confidence in you that you will assist these people that are under your charge and help them become better to avoid reoffending and make a difference in their respective communities. Treat everybody separately. Don't have a preconceived idea, oh, this person has stolen, so he's a bad person, or this person has done something wrong. That has been done, right? So we move away from that. So the principal objective of the Community-Based Corrections Act of 2018 is to provide for the administration of a community-based correction system. Now we are going to use a community-based correction system rather than putting them in prison. That's the whole idea. For minor offences, we feel it is not right, this law feels it is not right to punish people by sending them in prisons for minor offences. So for example, somebody steals, well, stealing is not a minor offence, but if somebody has stolen $20, is it fair to put them in a prison for 6 months? This law makes sure that there is a community-based system whereby reoffenders are allowed to rehabilitate. It's a, let's say it's a more, not positive, but it's a more sort of, give me a word. It's a more proactive, see? So your trainers will get you into these things. They'll ask you questions, you should be able to answer. We'll give you marks. So what this does is, you will be responsible for providing the courts with a range of sentencing options, is it? Yeah. And the means for dealing with offenders other than by imprisonment, right? Establishing conditions so that the rehabilitation of offenders may be promoted or facilitated. It's your role to do that. And then, of course, we aim to reduce reoffending by managing the rehabilitation of offenders and then putting them back in the society with their families, right? And then providing useful and timely information to courts to assist them in making decisions relating to the rehabilitation and reintegration of offenders. So if you think this person that you are looking after, who's been under the system of community-based correction, is not changing at all. He's not receptive, he's not listening, he's not changing to counseling, he doesn't like being mentored, he doesn't like to do what you tell him to. Please put that in the report. There should not be no biasness. Just because you like the young boy, just because he looks handsome, just because he's smart. No. Everybody will be treated equally and fairly. Your reports must be honest, right? Because what you are trying to do is, you are not trying to do a favor There's too much current here. You're not trying to do a favor to the offenders, right? You are trying to help them change. So your one wrong report, you know what will the impact of that? The magistrate or the courts will make a decision based on your report. It's very important. Okay. So we'll move from there. Ladies and gentlemen, the key principles in itself are enough to tell us a story why sessions such as yours is very important. We are not perfect. We need to learn. And when we are entrusted with new responsibilities, we learn. And who do we learn from? We learn from the experts. Okay, we all are not experts in everything that we do. I need guidance too at times. We all need guidance. So if you have questions regarding this new role of yours, please feel free to ask. Okay? I'm sure you're going to have PS sessions or group sessions. Let it out. Don't pretend that you know everything. That's the best part of being a human being. You are always eager to learn new things. And this is something new. Like I said, this is an expansion of your role from social welfare officers to community-based corrections officers. Wow. That's something good. Right? Just tap yourself on the back. You deserve this. You've chosen to do this. So learn as much as possible. So I'm also very happy to share that since the enactment of the Community-Based Corrections Act of 2018, our ministry has also resourced and established a unit within the ministry, basically to ensure that the relevant policies that we have, the guidelines that are there, and program mechanisms are in place prior to the official commencement of the Act. I think a lot of people just may not understand the importance of setting the foundation right and strong. So this is what we are doing. We are setting the foundation right so that when we get into this thing, we are on the same page. The pre-implementation phase is a groundwork that will not only equip us with the knowledge, like I've said, knowledge and information and expertise, but it's also going to make us as a ministry work more efficiently. Right? Our ministry has been sort of given this task. Do you see the importance? How we are involved in changing lives? It's very important. I cannot emphasize enough about our role when it comes to people. We are a people-oriented ministry. So you have to be one of those officers that is people's person. Right? Don't give up. This may not be easy. Challenges will come. Oh, I don't do this job. This particular person is just eating my head, not listening to me. Don't give up. These sessions will equip you to be stronger in order to fulfill your roles. So, like I said, our work is very important and will help people reform. Why reform? So that they do not re-offend. We have, if you look at, if you read media and watch TV, we have children very young who are offending, whether it's to do with drugs, stealing, whatever, right? So it becomes our role to become those handful of people that the country has. You're not hundreds in numbers, remember that. We are very small in number, but the task ahead of you is mammoth, very big. So be prepared for that. So far, 318 individuals we have trained as community volunteer supervisors in our 3 divisions, as well as a total of 37 welfare officers have been trained. So 900,000 people in Fiji, or more than that, and you are 37. So the proportion of you looking after a large number of offenders is high. And for that you need stamina, you need that willpower, and of course you need that courage and determination to do justice to the role that you have been given. And you can be assured that the relevant guidelines and policy of the program will soon be submitted to the Solicitor General's office and very soon endorsed by the ministry. That will guide our work, right? And if I have to sum this training for you today, it's knowledge. Knowledge is very powerful, right? And please use the opportunity in training to grasp the basic concepts that the community-based corrections program has. And however significant your role is, you'll have a set of guidelines, policy frameworks that will guide your work. You're just not on your own. Don't become the judge, jury, and everybody. or I decide what you do. No, you'll be guided by a set of guidelines and policy frameworks which you will abide by, right? I see a lot of young faces, very young faces in this. Some of you I've met for the first time, I'm sorry about that. You work for me, but it's very young faces, you know. And young people have that drive. Seniors, they may give you a run for your seniority, but always be in front of your roles, okay? I look at the faces, there's excitement. Some of you must be fearful of the role that you're going to get. Don't be. Don't be. And, yeah, I know there's a whole walk planned for you today, and I want you to enjoy that. Like I said, I want to ask questions, right? Assert your role as a community-based corrections officer, right? So you mean business. You mean business because this thing that we are dealing with, crime, is not something to laugh about, right? You are serious. And you have been entrusted with that responsibility. Put a smile on the faces of those families whose children have sort of ended up in conflict with the law. They are mothers, they are fathers, they are grandparents who sort of are not happy with the way children are behaving these days. And those that get caught, whether it's drug issues, whether it's relationship issues, rape, there's so many things. Maybe one day, one session could be just on the types of cases you can get, right? Some of you may not have seen or experienced or even seen things happen like that. So if you get a case, study that case. And as a corrections officer, these workshops and trainings will prepare you how to counsel these offenders, how to be their mentor, how do you talk to them, what relationship do you build with the person you've been in charge. Oh, one day he or she comes late for whatever he or she has to do. Don't overlook that, because the moment you slacken your control over the offenders, they'll take advantage of you. And a lot of people will sweet talk you. Oh, ma'am, I was sick, that's why I didn't come. Oh, ma'am, my grandmother died, that's why I couldn't come for this particular set of responsibilities. Know your word. Know the person you have been entrusted to. Maybe you have 2 or 3 people to look after. How do you manage your time? Plus, I'm sure they'll have other work to do, reporting and documenting things like that. Be prepared for that. And the task ahead of you is not easy. It's going to be challenging, but we will prepare you for that. Not only during these 3 days, but as you go along, we'll try to have some sessions as a feedback sessions for you, where you will talk and tell us how this new role is carrying you. But at the end of the day, your health is also important. Your mental health is also important, right? Look after yourself. Take a break. Sometimes you may need counseling yourself. Let your team leader know. Sorry, this role is too difficult for me. We'll arrange that for you. But whatever you do, I expect you to fulfill your roles with sheer diligence, honesty, with compassion and empathy, because you mean business, we mean business. We are here to change societies. We are here to change lives. We are here to change people. And we have chosen you and your other colleagues in the other divisions. So with this, I wish you well in your new roles, and I'm happy to have you part of my team, and I'm sure you won't let me down. Okay? We have placed a lot of faith in you people. Make us proud, right? And this is a new system altogether. Well, not a new system, but expansion of the previous system we have. But all eyes will be on you, right? Because let me say, you are the ambassadors of change. It's not easy to change an offender, you know. There always will be this thing, you will want to reoffend. Some people will want to reoffend, but it's your role to make sure that they get rehabilitated positively back in the society, right? So with these words, I have much pleasure in opening your session today, and I would like to also to thank the Legal Aid Commission representatives and of course the ministry officials who will be coordinating this session. Thank you. God bless you.